Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and it's getting a little late in the day now, but I spent the day with cousin Dean. He's the one that owned the convenience store where I got in the shooting. And what happened, his mother died yesterday. She was 89 years old. Lost his father about 5 years ago, and so he's been watching over her. And but some of the things that kind of come across with the experience was the Chinese say when you go to the hospital, you go to the hospital to die. And that's one of their sayings, kind of thing. And I can see that. Now, with my wife, when the hospital got a hold of her, it took them about 5 weeks to kill her. And it got more and more out of my control the longer she was in the hospital. And a matter of fact, she had she was in private hospital to start with. And then they did their thing, and it was bad there. And then I worked on her and got her gone. And then they really started working on her after that. And then they kept me away from her. I say she was in a private hospital. They wanted to put her in intensive care, where limited on how long you can be with them, and they monitor them totally all the time. So I couldn't really work on her there. And then, but that was only just for a few days, and then they moved her to the government hospital. And in the government hospital, this is why I talk about you don't want government getting involved in health. I mean, the government doesn't do anything right, so why would you want them involved in health? And it ended up she would I could only see her 15 minutes 3 times a week. And so not a good thing. And every time I saw her, she kept getting worse and worse. And what happens under government control stuff is, not only, I don't mind bucking the system, but what they had on me is the whole government would keep me away from her. So I had to play the rules, play along with them. And it was just bad. And this is what happens when you allow a government source to make the rules. This is why you don't want government control in health. That's why private insurance, private doctors, you have some kind of say-so on what's going on something like that. And even at that particular time, when time of sickness, you're really limited because most of the time it's stuff that you don't know anything about. And like I say, even before, on my wife, before that even happened, when she had her second stroke, she was taking medicine. This is why she was having strokes. And her second stroke, she was totally paralyzed. And even at that, I was able to get her out of it. I brought her out of it. Matter of fact, it took me 2 years, but I got her so she could drive. and it wasn't real good. You don't let her drive. She's a little slow, or mine was still a little slow, but she had all the physical capabilities. She could take care of herself. She could do everything, but I say she's still a little slow. And I thought, man, I'm going to have so much business after something when they could see what I did. And I say she was in the hospital for 8 days. And when they could see how much improvement I did to her, I thought, man, it's going to be so much business for me. And but what it wasn't. I mean, they don't, you know, they don't want to know what they do. Doctors will tell you, well, what have you been doing? Keep going, keep doing it. They don't want to know. They don't care. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. And when it's government, it's even worse. But the medical people, they're only going to do what they're going to do anyway. They don't really care what the hell you do. They don't really care about health. They look for sick people. They're not looking for healthy people. So, this is, the system isn't made to improve. So if you think, well, you're going to, this virus, I'll take a vaccine and we'll be A-okay. You want to go along with all this crap, you can. But I learned a long, long time ago that they don't know. And they keep acting like they know something. And even now they're telling us, wear the mask, stay at home, social distancing, all this crap, like they know something, and we didn't even elect them. That tells you how weird these people are when they can get control of you. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for control. That's why I do the Hoi Chi. I try to keep people healthy. If you're healthy, you're not under anybody's control. It's once you get sick, now somebody's got, or more than somebody. There's the whole system's got you once you're sick. But when you're not sick, you can make everything yourself. You can take care of yourself. You can make a living. You can do all kinds of stuff. But once you're sick and they get their hands on you, you're going to get sicker. So it doesn't work. And this is one of the reasons why I'm against mixed marriages. Because when you get into a different cultures have different ways of handling it. And like I say, I've been with Cousin Dean today, and everybody involved in the funeral, they're all the Chinese, so they're all working things out. They know how they're going to do it and all this kind of stuff. And when you are in a mixed marriage, this is just one more problem. And then when it is someone from a different culture, and then they're trying to tell you not only the funeral stuff, but even when they're in the hospital, what do you do? Because I said, if you have a loved one in the hospital, somebody needs to stay with them 24 hours a day. And you need to make notes on what kind of medicine, what time they gave it to them, and what they gave them. All this kind of stuff, because they're going to make a mistake. They make lots of mistakes in hotels, in hospitals. You'd be shocked if you knew how many people were killed. And there's nothing you can do about it. They've got a license to kill people, and they know it. And the system is set up where they can do it and get away with it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. That's why you want to avoid going to the hospital. You want to avoid being sick. And I say, when you have different cultures, I say, even the Chinese, they kind of understand what I do. The problem is, what I've been having a problem with, is people wait till they're sick and then they're ready to pay attention. Well, in my world, you don't get sick. You do things so you don't get sick. So you don't need medical. You don't need to listen to people that the only thing they're concerned about is money. They're not concerned about your health. That's not part of this. That's not the way the system is set up. So this is why you have to take personal responsibility. And like I say, in the United States, it's the hardest. When they see me work, when they hear me work, I make so much sense. You don't have to think too hard because I say it so simple, so you understand. A lot of times I'm saying stuff that you already know about. You just don't understand how it works with the body. And that's what I do. I make the connection on how your organs are working with your body, and this is why you have these symptoms. If you get it taken care of, you won't get sick. If you make changes in your life, if you do something, you will avoid being sick. But I say, United States, they don't do that. Foreign countries, they know you stay out of the hospitals. The hospitals are bad, and they know it. So they take steps to try to take care of themselves. But this is why when you have a mixed marriage, they don't understand. When your wife is feeding you crap that you don't want to eat, you don't understand why. This is why. So there's things we can do, but it all takes personal responsibility, and you have to think. Everything is, you have to think this stuff out. Don't blindly follow. Because I guarantee, once you're sick, you're at their mercy, and you will blindly follow. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.